Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our English class, Grade 8, Unit 2, A Taste of Palestinian Culture. This is Ilyas Hariri, and at the beginning, we have new words. Listen and repeat the new words.
Period 4, Activity 1. Classical. Folk song. Instrument. Poem. Rock music. The heart of. The 1950s. Used to.
We start with the new words. Classical, it is adjective. A traditional in style. For example, my art teacher likes listening to classical music during our work. And here we have, when you look, this is classical music. Folk song, it is noun. It is a traditional song from a particular region or a group of people. For example, in Palestine, we consider Ya Zarif al-Tul as a folk song. Instrument, and look at the picture. Here we have musical instrument. An object such as piano, guitar, or drum that is played to produce musical sounds. For example, if you want to learn to play a musical instrument, it might be a good idea to begin on something simple. And poem, a piece of writing in which the words are carefully chosen to the sound and the sounds of the words when you read aloud, often ending with rhyme. A piece of writing in which the words are carefully chosen and the sounds of the words when you read aloud, often ending with rhyme. For example, my father can still recite the poems he learned off by heart at school. And here we have Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. So all these end with rhyme. Music, and here we have rock music, and you know this picture for whom? A type of music that developed out of rock and roll. Rock and roll in the 1960s and 1970s. Here this is Elvis Presley was an American singer and actor as well. He is often referred to as the king of rock and roll or simply the king. The heart of, it is part of or belong to, related, essential as well. So the heart of, it is the part of belong to, related, essential. For example, my dad always considered music as the heart of his work. And here we have the words, the 1950s, with S. The 1950s was a decade that began on January 1st, 1950 and ended on December 31st, 1959. It is the period between 1950 to 1959. We have used to, done or experienced in the past, but no longer done or experienced now. For example, we don't go to the movies now as often as we used to. We have an exercise, everybody, on period number 4. I need you to listen and Add the new words from activity 1. Make any changes needed. You can guess the words with 2 minutes. Start from now, everybody. Okay, are you finished? Now listen and add the new words.
Period 4. Activity 2 and Activity 3. 1.
Is music important to Arab people? Very. It's at the heart of their culture.
2.
Do you know anything about classical Arab music? It grew out of ancient poems and the traditional music of different cultures.
3.
What's Tariq going to do when he leaves school? He loves music, so he wants to be a musician.
4.
How many instruments does he play? He plays the oud and tabla, and he's a good singer too. Great! Perhaps he'll sing some songs at my brother's wedding.
5.
I love listening to traditional folk songs. Me too. The old songs show how people used to live long ago.
6.
Can you learn to play a musical instrument at your school? Yes, I can. For example, I can learn the piano or the guitar.
7.
I love the poems of Mahmoud Darwish. Me too. His feelings of love for Palestine are very clear in his words.
8.
Tell me about rock music. It developed in America. Yes, it developed there in the 1950s. But young people quickly started playing the new kind of music round the world.
Okay, everybody, now I need you to check your answers. Did you finish? The first one, is music important to Arab people? Very. It's at the heart of their culture. Number 2, do you know anything about classical Arab music? It grew out of ancient poems and the traditional music of different cultures. Number 3, what's Tariq going to do when he leaves school? He loves music, so he wants to be a musician. Number 4, how many instruments does he play? He plays the oud and tabla, and he's a good singer too. Great. Perhaps he will sing some songs at my brother's wedding. I love listening to traditional. That is number 5. I love listening to the traditional folk songs. Me too. The old songs show how people used to live long ago. Can you learn to play musical instrument at your school? Yes, I can. For example, I can learn the piano or the guitar. Number 7, I love the poems of Mahmoud Darwish. Me too. His feeling of love for Palestine are very clear in his words. Number 8, tell me about rock music. It developed in America. Yes, it developed there in 1950s, but young people quickly started playing the new kinds of music around the world. We have exercise number 2. Listen and complete the notes. Here we have 2 pictures. This is Kalthoum and this is Farid Al-Atrash. I need you to listen and complete the information.
Period 4. Activity 4. Now, here we have pictures of 2 very great people in the world of Arab music. First, on the left, we have Kalthoum. and she lived from 1904 to 1975. She was Egyptian, and she lived in Egypt all her life. She was the most famous singer in the Arab world, and millions of people still love and listen to her music today. Next, on the right, we have Farid Al-Atrash, and he lived from 1910 to 1974. His family moved to Egypt when he was a small boy, and so he got Egyptian nationality. Like Kulthum, he was very famous too. He was a famous singer, and he was also a famous oud player.
Okay, now let's write and check. What did you write? The name of the first picture is Kulthum, and she lived from 1904 to 1975. Her nationality is Egyptian, and she was famous of singer. Now the second picture, we have the name Farid Al-Atrash, and he lived from 1910 to 1974. He moved from another country and he came to Egypt, and he got the Egyptian nationality. He is also famous as a singer and as oud player. That's all for today. Thanks for attending. Have a nice day. This is Ilyas Al-Hariri.